Salutations, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to RimWorld Ye Olde Knights, where we begin this episode with many of our colonists sleeping and resting their weary heads in their bedrolls, and some colonists are eating weak stews in our great hall, and some of our colonists are, well, they're quite frankly doing nothing at all. But enough of me rhyming over and over again. Today we begin with building a research bench. If we were going to stand a chance on this planet against these advanced and high-tech factions, we're going to need to do a little bit of research on some defenses, such as caltrops, which are the spikes, I believe, that are on the ground that people would walk through, catapults, many things. So we began with one of our noble knights here going ahead and researching into some medieval defenses for us. I'm not really sure how they're doing it. I do see they're throwing papers left and right and every which way, so it looks important at least. However, though, as the old saying goes, the best defense is a good offense. So I had our king and many of our noble knights go ahead and equip some of the weapons that we won through combat. Some of those were normal shotguns, machine guns, things like that. Some feral weapons, which were kind of weak and improvised, but they were the best that we had. Now, our nobles, they were brave and courageous and loyal and all those great words. However, they were a bunch of medieval muttonheads, so they were kind of unfamiliar with how these boomsticks worked. So we took them out into the forest, seen a grizzly bear, and we decided to test out the weapons. And they worked out pretty well. And of course, not only did the weapons work out just fine and we got the experience of learning how to use them, we also took that grizzly bear's big plump butt back to our hall and cut him up into small pieces so we could make some weak stew out of him. Funny enough though, we did not use the grizzly bear's head in the stew. We had other plans for that voluptuous item. I decided that the grizzly bear's head would probably be best suited for a nice solid piece of mahogany that we could give to the king as a gift for his efforts on his hunt and helping us learn how these weapons worked. And the bear's large cranium mounted up on that piece of solid wood would have a large beauty score, so it would also make the king's room extremely impressive. The only thing kings love more than dead animals on the wall are their queens, or so I'm told. But speaking of vicious, terrifying animals, we have a manhunter pack of Yorkshire Terriers. You know what? I don't think I'm near as scared as I was a few moments ago reading that. Well, the vicious little rabies-filled beasts were yapping all the way up until they got to our walls, and then they began trying to go through a murder hall. As the little beast attempted to go through our murder hall, they quickly got sucked down into the mud, and most of them hit our traps and died. The others were injured and laid there waiting on our nobles to come and finish them off. Meanwhile, the king ordered one of the noble knights to construct a grand rug for our grand hall, and truly it was beautiful. I really would love to have one of these in everyone's rooms, said the king. Oh, we can make that happen, said Rat Knight. While we were busy beautifying our keep, though, with beautiful rugs, we had someone named Newton calling from nearby who was apparently being chased by pirates and outlanders. We, as the House of Rat, offered Newton refuge here if she would join us and become one of our noble members. Newton joined us just in the nick of time because we were about to have a wedding. That's right, our King George is about to marry our noble knight Busto. Ah, how I love royal weddings, always such a sight to behold. There's plenty of weak and hearty stews, and men and women in beautiful sets of armor and whatnot. It is always truly such a beautiful, amazing sight to behold. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, I now present to you King George and Queen Busto. Just after the royal wedding, though, we had that group of pirates that were chasing Newton arrive nearby, and they were preparing to raid us. And, of course, not long after the pirates arrived, the outlanders would follow suit shortly there behind them. Our royals and nobles were trying to mentally and physically prepare for the outlanders and the pirates who would soon be raiding us. But thankfully, though, it turns out these two groups absolutely hate each other and began trying to kill one another. The outlanders quickly beat the pirates into submission. The remaining pirates who were injured attempted to flee the area. This honestly was a very foolish move on part of the outlanders because now they would have to deal with the might of our kingdom on their own. The wrath of the House of Rat was brought down on the Outlanders viciously and very quickly. The Outlanders who could flee, fled. The others who were injured in battle and left in the mud to die were stripped by King George and stabbed through the heart with his trusty sword. We were finally making a name for ourselves on this desolate RimWorld. The House of Rat was becoming known to all. Yet we were still allowing our king and queen to lay on these dreadful bedrolls on the floor. We would need to build them a comfortable and beautiful bed to lay in at night. With the cold temperatures of fall here and winter just around the corner, we decided to hunt some local deer. That way we could stock up before winter came. The only thing more delightful than a winter's snow is a belly full of venison and ale. Not only did our nobles slaughter most of the local wildlife for survival, but they also toiled away at night in the workshop. They worked on stone for our walls, clothes for our people, and they worked on the research that would inevitably help us in the long run dominate this planet from any other empire or faction. But occasionally, boredom would set in, of course, and they would have to go out in the fields where our crops normally grow in a light snow and play some nice hoopstone. Late one evening, as the snow fell upon our kingdom, a hungry cougar out in the wild decided to try and hunt our colonist Galro. How do I know how hungry the cougar was? Because only a desperate, hungry, foolish animal would attempt to hunt one of our nobles. Galro had not intended to kill this cougar when he went out that evening for a nice stroll, but the cougar picked the fight with him, and we had to finish it. Though I'm not going to lie, we really didn't mind killing the cougar. We would chop its butt up and throw it in a nice pot of weak or hearty stew anyhow. And as you could probably guess by this point, the body was used for stew, but the head of the cougar would be nailed to a piece of wood for us to decorate our keep with. And I say let the head of this cougar on the wall be a true symbol of how our nobles always show courage and bravery in the face of danger. We even decided to make some armor for our new friend Newton so that they could fit in with our other nobles. But, my friends, I am going to go ahead and call this episode 3 of RimWorld Ye Olde Knights. This episode has been very progressive in terms of growing our population and our keep, and I've had a lot of fun. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, of course. And thank you everyone for your support on the channel, as well as this series in general and just everything. I really appreciate it. It means the world to me. If you're not already, please subscribe. That would mean a lot to me. And leave a like on the video if you like what you're seeing. I really would appreciate that very much as well. But I will see you guys in the next episode. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.